where we cut through the noise and we show you what truly drives your success. We are your hosts, Coach Ablaza, and
I'm Coach Mark.
here we dive into the strategies, mindsets, and habits that help you thrive in your business and in life. Coach Mark is a business brilliance coach assisting businesses through his virtual summits, in person conferences, and coaching program. He is an international transformational speaker and recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award for service from the Biden administration in 2024.
And Coach Ablaza is a branding expert, mindset coach, and the CEO of Pink Collar Brands. She's helped hundreds of female entrepreneurs build strong, profitable brands and turn their dreams into real businesses. Are you ready to focus and level up on what really pays off? Let's get started.
Let's go. Episode 4, your soft skills are your superpower, emotional intelligence in business. And Dr. Mark, Coach Mark, is really going to take you through most of this because in his business, brilliance is emotional intelligence. You can't do it without that, right, Dr. Mark?
That's right, Coach. And Coach, let's just put it in layman's terms. What is emotional intelligence? In the heat and thick of things, are you able to maintain your composure, keep your emotions under control, regardless of the alligators at your heels now, but can you keep your emotions in check while not only considering that someone may be coming at you or some things are going on, but considering what they're going through as well? And I think Stephen Covey said something that was very important in his book, the Seven Habits of Highly Successful People. He said, seek first to understand, then to be understood. And when we put it in those terms, if I'm not listening to you to respond, but I'm listening to you to understand, I get a clearer picture, and we're able to actually communicate and not compete for communication. Does that make sense, Coach?
Oh, that makes sense, and that is a good point. Most people, when they communicate, we can't even call it communication because they're listening to respond. They're not
Yes.
listening to understand what you're saying. They already had that response in their head, and now they're waiting. As soon as you stop talking, they're like, blah, right? It makes sense, Mark.
That's right. That's right. And so, what are we really talking about? We're talking about self-awareness, understanding your own emotions and how your emotions impact your thoughts and your behaviors. And Coach, I know that it's easy to sometimes teach something, and I've been guilty of this in the past. God made me check myself because I may have done a sermon or a teaching on something, and then somebody get me wrong. And you know how they say, check yourself before you wreck yourself? It's like, you know, we got to internalize this stuff so it's not just a teaching point, but it's something that really is a part of our being. Because one of the things that I've done in my past, Coach, is I've gone into prisons and taught people who are lifers. And people don't have nothing to lose, and you go in and you try to talk to them, and some of the other ones too, but particularly in talking to some of the lifers, I remember hearing a guy tell me, man, the split second decision I made to pull that trigger or to do this or to do that has me locked up in here for the rest of my life. Now that, you know, we've got to be able to manage our emotions. We've got to be able to do it because it doesn't take but one thing. You can do good all your life, and then you decide to do one thing, and that one thing derails you. And you know, I'm gonna let you take it for a minute, Coach, because I was great. Go somewhere I shouldn't go. Talking about folk that want to see you go down anyway. I ain't gonna go there right now. You know, as a man.
Yeah. Um, well, let me see. Let me go ahead and send you this because this is crazy. And I'm going to tell you guys shortly about this. Okay. What I want to tell you is that emotional intelligence, it makes or breaks your leadership. Okay. Now we talked about communication. If you don't have communication with your team, how can you really be a true leader? In
Hmm.
retrospect, they're calling you a leader because that's who you are. But is that who you are inside of your heart, your soul, your spirit, your mind? Right? That's why a lot of people will have bosses or even colleagues, and they won't. They are a leader, but they're not showing their leadership. They're not acting like a leader, right?
Hmm.
So that also comes along with handling stress. How are you handling stress? If your emotional intelligence is not high, when you get stressed out, that means you're going to have an attitude. And even in entrepreneurship and being a business owner, you can't just have an attitude. You have to control your emotions. And Coach Mark, I feel like it's a quote out there, another quote that's like, if you about attitude and anger, you
Mm.
think about that. Give us one of those quotes because I don't have it, but I know there's a lot about that that they talk about anger.
Well,
But
I'm a pull on this one, Coach. It is
yeah.
your attitude, not your aptitude, that determines your altitude. I'm gonna
Mm,
pull on that one for a minute, and the reason I'm gonna pull on that one is because it is so important. One of the most important things about emotional intelligence is self-regulation. I've got to be able to regulate myself. I'm a grown man. We have grown women, grown people who have never had the opportunity to regulate themselves. And
mm,
so if you don't come from a household where there's been some level of discipline, some level of care for you that lets you know that you've got to be mindful of other people, and you
mm,
go out in here in this world and you behave badly, you
mm,
have no self-regulation. And that is so important because tell you this thing. I mentioned this in one of our other podcasts, Coach, and it just came back to me when my brother and I were in a corner store, and it was run by a minority. It wasn't a black minority, another minority culture, and they threw his change on the counter, and
mm,
I saw my brother, begin to react, and I
mm,
grabbed his shoulders and I was like, "Bro, we don't need to do that."
mm.
Because just because somebody is ignorant doesn't mean that we have to reciprocate that position, because it can go anywhere. And so we've got to be able to regulate ourselves. We've got to be able to do it.
Yes, that's true. Speaking as a person that had an attitude in the past and had a lot of anger, I would realize that, or I realized that I would get into it with a lot of people because I had a strong personality. I'm an extrovert, and just any at the drop of the dime, boom, you got me. And so that's why you have to self-regulate because somebody can irritate you every day. They could come at you sideways every day. And are you going to let them affect your emotions every day? It's something very important that I want you to take notes and write this down. We use Notion, Notion, for our notes. We ain't handwriting that take too much time, okay, y'all?
That's right.
Yeah. But these are your emotions. I want you to put your in all capitals. They're yours, which means no one else can affect them. You shouldn't let anybody else affect your emotions. The first thing is when they do something disrespectful or negative to you, they're attempting to affect your emotions. Now, step 2, we make the decision on if we're going to let them affect us by what they did. If you get angry, they have won twice over. If you ignore them and stop dealing with that type of nonsense, you have won the battle because you are done dealing with that negativity. And now you are self regulating your emotions because you're the only person that can control them, right? And so we want to go into empathy, understanding others' feelings and perspectives, right? Do you empathize, right? Go ahead, Coach
Mhm.
Mark.
Oh, I'm feeling you. You got me on the edge of my seat here. I'm feeling you. It's like the other thing I just want to slip in there before we get to empathy, Coach, is motivation.
Mm,
Being driven and staying committed to your goals, regardless of what's happening externally.
mm,
And we always talk about, because all these things basically fall into the concept of having the proper mindset. But
mm,
if you don't have yourself to a point where somebody just knows how to push your buttons and you offer your game just because somebody say something to you out of the way, you're not going to get very far.
yeah.
And so, as a matter of just mental health, we've got to have motivation to be able to stay on point. And then when we talk about empathy, you can consider other people, and that's a real heavy one, Coach Ablaza. Considering other people,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
considering other people, it's like that's a real heavy one, because what is it that I need to be? How much do I have to have myself in check to be able to get out of my feelings
Mm.
and think about what's going on with the person that I'm communicating with? That's a
Mm.
little bit heavy.
Well, I used to be in this community, and they were a little janky, so I didn't know what they were saying when they told me this, but they said it's not about you. You ever
Um,
heard that? It's not about you. Write this
mhm.
down, y'all. It's not about you. If you make everything about you, you're never going to succeed at what you're doing. You're never going to succeed in life because everything in this world is about people. I remember thinking one time, I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I like people. But then I you can't escape it, right? Even you are a person. You go to the grocery store, you have a grocery clerk. You go on the flight, you have a flight attendant. Everything we do is about people. So when you're an entrepreneur and we're talking about emotional intelligence, you as a leader over your team, you have to think about those people, their family, their emotions, and you have to know that if you don't have the emotional intelligence down, if you don't have the care down, it's really not going. It's not going to work. It's not going to work.
Coach, I want people to just do a self assessment for a minute and go back into how they've been dealing with people and doing different things and ask themselves this question: have I ever told people, well, that's just how I am?
Mm,
Let's
mm.
just deal with it. You know,
Oh, keep going. Keep give them all. Give it all to them, please.
deal with it. I mean, because what you're saying is you have chosen to
Mm,
not allow the grace of God to operate in your life.
mm, mm, mm.
And you have chosen to be stagnant in that area.
Mm-hmm.
And we've really got to be careful, because I'm convicted right now, because I remember saying to somebody, look, that's just how I roll.
Mm, mm-hmm.
What I'm really saying is, even if it's for the betterment of the group, I choose not to change right now.
Mm,
Oh,
mm.
that don't feel good
It don't feel good. Mm-mm.
to be that way. But when we're in that space, a lot of times we don't think about, what do we talk about? Empathy. We're not thinking about nobody else. We're thinking about ourselves.
Yep.
And so that whole emotional intelligence equation is so important, because it makes us step outside of ourselves and say, you know what? I know Wolfram, I know marketing, what's in it for me, I know all that. But when you step back sometimes and you look for a win-win equation, as opposed to a what's in it for me equation all the time. You can build lasting relationships. And I tell you what, Coach, some of the best business deals that I've experienced are not because my market has been so great. It's been bottom line. Somebody had an experience with me. We liked each other. We connected, and we considered each other's feelings in our dealings. That's how people want to deal with.
Yeah, that's good right there. Coach Mark that got us started. I don't know if we're leaving today or in 2026 off the podcast, y'all. Episode 4, it's going to be that episode. Yeah, that's a good point. And really, I think I told y'all this before. I love Coach Mark. He's amazing at what he does. Very knowledgeable in business brilliance. Just great person to work with because I don't work with everybody. So Coach Mark, he knows about emotional intelligence, y'all. But what I want to tell you really quick is one thing, why people change. I'm going to list this out, and I want you to write down notes on this. Pain or pressure. You get so tired of that same pain, that pain in your side. And the pain might be the pain of being broke, okay? And when I'm talking about changing, this has to do with emotional intelligence because you're not emotionally intelligent if you're negative every day, if you have an attitude every day, if you're angry every day, if you don't consider other people's feelings. If, like Coach Mark said, that's just the way that I am. When you say stuff like that, we can tell you're not emotionally intelligent. And to make it even third grade level, you're not emotionally smart. You don't make smart emotional choices, okay? Another reason people change, vision or purpose, write that down. The vision for your life, do you have one? Society has told us to graduate from high school, get a job, white picket fence, get a kid, get a car. All these things put us in debt. I don't know if I said go to college, but they put us in debt. And so they kill your vision and they kill your purpose by everything that they show you to do all these things since you're even a child, right? Since you're a child, there's a mom and dad. Oh, we're getting married. Just all type of things that they put in our mind that we have to break out of. Okay. So that's why people change. When people change, they change if it's a crisis, a breakup, a layoff, death, illness, major failure. They change for inspiration. I changed because Eric Thomas inspired me to change 7 years ago. I listened to him every day on the way to work, on the way back. He said, when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, that's when you'll know. I didn't even know what that meant, y'all, but he really inspired me. And then another reason when people change is repetition. If you just do something for 21 days, it becomes a habit. And just give me one more second because I know I'm talking y'all ear off, Coach Mark.
No, this is good. This is good.
People don't change when they see the light. They change when they feel the heat. Okay, don't get too close. Get out the kitchen, y'all. But I'm going to give you some more of those common excuses that Coach Mark gave us. That's just the way I am, which means you've accepted your limitation as your identity.
It's not as my identity, Coach. Stop. Don't do that.
Identity. That's it. Look, iron sharper iron, y'all. We about to get started up in here. Excuses. These are excuses. Excuses are tools of the incompetent used to build monuments of nothingness. Those who use them seldom amount to anything. What excuse are you giving yourself? And I'm just going to read the rest. I've always done it this way. I don't have time. It's too late for me. I'm too old. I'm just keeping it real. I'll start when I'm ready. Are you saying any of that? Go ahead, Coach Mark.
I'm too skinny. I'm too fat. I'm too light. I'm too dark. I don't have enough money. I done made enough money. Anything not to do the right thing.
anything not to change. And I'm inviting you guys today to change. Today, though, not tomorrow, not Monday, to start being smart with your emotions today.
Wow. Coach, I tell you what, I hope people take to heart. We're here for a short period of time, but it doesn't take a long time to get what you need. It's time for us to go ahead and make decisions that will propel us into our future. What we really have right now, Coach, is now.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it's not, information is not a problem. Uh, the internet, chat GPT, give you any information you want.
Ooh, ooh, he on y'all head.
Information is not the problem. What's the problem?
Yeah.
Getting focused, getting involved to the point where you say, you know what, this is not a dress rehearsal. This is my life. I shall come this way but once.
Mm.
If therefore there's anything I can do to make the world a better place while I'm here, let me do it now. That's where we are, Coach.
Hey, you really breaking it down today. That's the truth. I'm just going to elaborate on what Coach Mark said. There's not a lack of information anymore. ChatGPT can tell you anything you need to know. It can tell you how to operate your business. It can build out your business plan. Anything that we didn't know in the past about business and just having business brilliance is obsolete. ChatGPT, Canva, AI in general,
Yeah.
open slips, everything can help you break down your content, make your content. Like literally, ChatGPT is making flyers. Somebody asked me, and I don't know if you and I talking about this or with somebody else, but they said graphic designers are going to be obsolete or that they're not going to be making as much money because ChatGPT can do it. But that doesn't scare me because I have emotional intelligence, I have business brilliance, and I have a mindset of that God is going to provide for me. So AI is not going to take my job. It might be able to do my job. However, the prompt and the person putting the prompt in still has to know what they're doing. So, but ChatGPT, yes, it can do everything you need. So there's no more excuses on starting that business, on scaling that business, growing it, building it, etc. So I totally agree with you, Coach Mark.
Coach, let's just talk for a few minutes about how to build your soft skill superpower. I know one of the things we talked about was, and this is something, it's amazing how when you want to build any skill or build yourself, which is what we should, the end result, we need to be people that journal and self reflect. Talk to
Mm-hmm.
me a little bit about that, Coach.
Okay, yes. You need to journal or self reflect for emotional awareness. Now, I had a friend, she's actually my sans, my sorority sister, shout out to the Deltas, and she told me, hey, you know the definition of insanity. Insanity is doing the same things and expecting different results. I feel as though some of the stuff you may be doing might be insanity. What I want you to do is, I want you to journal every time the same thing happens and then go back and read it when you're in the same type of situation or you have to make the same decision. That's why journaling is important because it shows you your habits, whether they're good or bad. But if they are bad, it shows you that you keep repeating them, which is insanity. And this could be personal and this could be business. You feel like you're not building your business right. You feel like the business is not growing and you have not scaled it. And it's because you keep making the wrong choices, whether that be the wrong price, the wrong customers. When you're doing marketing to your target audience, a lot of people don't want to choose a target audience because that means that they'll be talking to one person. But the fact of the matter is, you do need to talk to one person, or no one's going to hear you because you're talking to everybody. You can't talk to everybody,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Right. So, for example, if I say I do branding for motivational speakers, I help them build, grow, and scale their speaking career through logos, websites, and stuff like that, you know what I'm talking about. But if I say I help entrepreneurs with their businesses, that was very vague. What am I helping them do? What type of entrepreneurs? You don't even know, and you're not interested because I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to everybody, right? So that's important too. And then just
yeah,
self reflection. You have to self reflect because if you don't, you're almost ignorant to what you're doing. And even though people might tell you that you're doing it, but if you don't sit yourself down, and just go over the decisions that you're making and the things that you're doing, you're never going to accept it. People will give you the same advice over and over again, and you will not listen to it because you think you know it all. So if you know it all, let's self-reflect and see, did that work for you last time? If you have a coach that's doing better than you, that's 10 steps, 20 steps ahead of you, what you want to do with that is you want to say, they're already successful. I'm not where I want to be, or I'm not on their level. Maybe I should listen.
Amen. Now, let me just tell you, just another slant on journaling, Coach.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, excuse me, sometimes many things that we have desired in the past have come to pass. They have happened. But we're so busy asking for something else that we're not even thankful for what we have.
Mm.
And if you want to, prosper, stewardship is important, and being thankful and having an attitude of gratitude is important. I wanted to make that point. And the other point I wanted to make is you had mentioned that Chat GPT, some people are going to be out of business because of their branding experts. Coach Ablaza, you will never be out of business because
Yeah.
you are not a one-dimensional person. The
Yep.
person that's going to be out of business is the person that's making people flyers and making them a banner. That's not who you are.
Right.
You are changing lives, and you're changing lives through applying your experiences that you've had through all the like we said, the hundreds of people that you have helped. ChatGPT GPT has information, but it doesn't have that assimilation that you have. So you got no worries. Come on now.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, edit 5B. Okay, let me know. That's why that's my boy.
No, 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 no way, no way. Because I mean, like we say, information is there. If information could make you wealthy, man, we'd all just go on Chat GPT.
Okay, look, come on
But
now.
no, no, you got to be able to work that information, and that's why that you and I, coach, you've been traveling. I'm gonna get a little nosy. You've been traveling for your business. What happened over the last couple of weeks?
Oh yes. So over the last couple of weeks, I've been traveling. I'm actually just got, I want to say recruited, but I'm going to say promoted to area director in Toastmasters. And
Awesome.
yes, in Division 4.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yes. Oh, let me see. Yeah, so I just got promoted to that position. I have 4 clubs underneath me at the time. So I'm excited to be leading those clubs, and I want them to, become professional speakers and make some money like us.
All right. Well, Coach, we've been talking for a minute and we've broken down this emotional intelligence, but for those, I know that your target audience is that female entrepreneur. What do they need to do if they want to speak with you or talk to you about what's going on, where they can level up in their business?
Okay, yes. If you want to level up your business, I would have to say the first step is to go to brandbetternow.com, because that will give you the basis of what I do in branding. I don't want you to be confused when you get to me. I want you to know, okay, that's what I need for a brand, right? And so that's where you can reach me. You can also follow me on Instagram at Coach Ablaza, Coach Ablaza, and I'll see you there.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So we breaking it down, Coach. We had our minimum here. If anybody is interested in the business brilliance concepts that I have or the framework for that, they can reach me at drmarkholland.com. We'd be glad to talk to you and help you to level up in that area. And listen, these are exciting times. Here's a quote from the one and only Mark Holland, tooting my horn right there. Listen, this is what I told a friend of mine for his book. I told him there has never been a time, nor will there ever be a time that it's not your time. Why did I say that? Because You're not waiting for God to move. He's waiting for you. Level up, step into your business. We about to be out of here, Coach. How you going to close us out?
Yes, I got you. I want to let you know that your soft skills are a secret weapon. Mastering emotional intelligence isn't just about being nice, it's about being a leader people want to follow and a business people want to trust. Know, like, and trust. If this episode gave you clarity, share it with someone who's ready to level up their leadership. Whatever platform you're on, we're on there too. Share, like, and subscribe, and drop it in the comments. Are you starting your emotional intelligence journey today? Or are you deep into your journey? Let us know where you're at and give us a tip on how to become emotionally intelligent, which means smart with your emotions. Thanks for tuning in to the Mind the Business That Pays You. If
Yes.
today's episode brought you value, make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a friend who needs to hear this. Remember, your success stories starts with focusing on what truly matters. Until next time, keep minding the
Business
that
that pays you.
See you later, Coach Mark.
All right, Coach. Great job. Thank you. Yes.